Let's make some sourdough seeded bread. In a medium-sized bowl, go ahead and add 375 grams of warm water, 100 grams of your active sourdough starter, and go ahead and mix that together. 500 grams of bread flour, 10 grams of salt. Go ahead and start mixing your dough together either with a fork or a Danish whisk. Once it starts coming together, I go ahead and scrape down the sides, and then I knead by hand for 3 to 5 minutes. Now that I have it kneaded together, I go ahead and just scrape down those sides one last time. Cover with a shower cap and then let rest for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and do our first round of stretch and folds, and at this point we are going to add our seeds in. I'm doing 20 grams of sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, and poppy seeds. After you add those, go ahead and make sure your hands are wet so the dough doesn't stick to your hands that much, and then stretch up on that dough and fold it in, and you will do this clear around your bowl. After that, go ahead and cover with your shower cap and let rest again for 30 minutes. Now we are on to round 2 of stretch and folds. Remember to wet your hands and just stretch that dough up and fold it in again, and we will do this clear around the bowl. After you're done, go ahead and cover your dough again and let rest for 30 minutes. Now I'm on to my last round of stretch and folds. Again, wet your hands, but you will notice at this time the dough is less sticky. But go ahead and stretch that dough up and then fold it in. After this round, you're going to do your bulk fermentation, and this totally depends on the temperature of your dough, is how much you're going to want your dough to rise. Mine's going to rise for about 4 to 5 hours due to the temperature of my dough, so I will cover it and then let it rest on my countertop. Now that my dough is done with the bulk fermentation, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of flour on my countertop and then get my dough out on the countertop. I go ahead and pull it out slightly to a rectangle, but not too big, and then go ahead and fold it into thirds, and then turn the dough and roll it up, and then you want to finish your shaping. How you will do that is push your dough away from you, and then when you're pulling it back towards you, kind of tuck it under and use the countertop to pull some tension on that dough. Sprinkle some flour in your Banneton basket and then on top of your dough, and then add your dough to your Banneton basket. I will place this in my fridge overnight, and I will cook it in the morning. The next morning, I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 450 degrees with my Dutch oven inside it. Once it's preheated, I'll go ahead and get some parchment paper out and then place my dough on my parchment paper. Go ahead and score your dough, making sure you at least have one deep cut for expansion. So your dough in your Dutch oven, and then place your Dutch oven back in your oven. Bake covered for 30 minutes, remove your lid, and then bake for another 10 to 15 minutes. I will put the full recipe in the description below, and then follow me for more recipes.